Good evening. So this will be a short microscopic examination of the material that is here in the in the electrolysis chamber, where we conduct a series of experiments that are aimed at multiplying the neurons and creating diverse fleet. Later, hopefully DC over air, and then slide energized, hopefully. What I'm going to do now is take another sample from the same mixture that we have taken two samples yesterday morning, about maybe 34 hours ago, something like that. And after that, what I'll do, I need to bring some stuff to the apartment, and then we will dilute a little bit, add some stuff to the mixture, not much, mostly a crude salt and a little bit of oil. In the meantime, we'll close this, so it doesn't smell very well. Also, we have this lovely, symbolic. This will be the lid. While the process will be online, it will be the lid. Of course, upside down. The glue is drying now. But what we'll do now is take another examination of the material from here, soaked with eosin Y, just for contrast and visibility. There will be no surprises. We'll see what we've seen yesterday morning. I actually cheated now, and took a very, very short look before I started the video, just to see, that I'm not wrong, but I was certain I was right. It's not like a new thing. We're not going to see anything different than what we've seen yesterday morning. Why some people might be surprised? First of all, because they do not follow me and they do not watch the channel. Very shortly, it should be said that whoever you are, your reference, my guess is that, that your only kind of reference with the distribution of the tea is that either you do it remotely, using the portal mechanism, and then you have you don't care how it works, it's immediate, of course. And the other way is that by distribution of bodily mixtures, probably mostly pee, but maybe also kaki, poo, and maybe semen, for those that, semen probably is not very common because, for some reason, the distribution usually goes from that and females to Homo sapiens males, and they know that they cannot have sex. Now they think that the pee thing is safe, which is completely ridiculous. I don't know why it was established that, you cannot pass semen, but you can pass pee. This is ridiculous. You cannot pass any bodily fluid. It's all super dangerous, and you should not do it. It's a great sin. But yes, it was established a long time ago, probably, that pee is fine, even though it's not fine at all. Also, semen is, for some reason they like to probably for good reason. It's all sinful, but yes, it's been established probably that the distribution, just straight from the tap is the proper way to go, and if it's used using containers, it should immediately be consumed or distributed. And it's a problem with semen because usually the intelligence people, the people of the intelligence community in Israel and also abroad, they are not very rarely they are attracted to females. They are either kind of homosexuals, pedophiles, something in between. There is a star phenomenon that I've discussed in the past of people that are bisexual, but these are rare. Anyway, I should say that my bodily fluids, everything that I check, contain tremendous amount of neurons and big ones. I have yet to, in 20 months of microscopic examination, I have yet to actually take a look at the stool sample, which actually should have been done a long time ago. I don't know why I don't do it. Maybe it's because it's kind of disgusting, because it's stool, because it's poo. But I've taken a tremendous amount of semen examinations and pee examinations, and also saliva, sweat, just not stool, but maybe I should do it to see, I mean, what's inside. I should say that, I mean, maybe this is just, I mean, this is just an hypothesis, a not very important one, because you try to disassemble, I mean, the Torah of pigs and dogs, like, the Torah in the broad sense, the corpus of knowledge of pigs. But maybe it was, I mean, people, I mean, found out that, I mean, if the pea is not fresh, I mean, it's not like as potent. So maybe that's why they try to keep it fresh, or maybe just, from the cavity of the pig. It should be said that indeed it was demonstrated in many times that pea is not great, I mean, for the preservance of neros. It's not the worst. Water is actually worse, but pea is also not that good at all, I mean, for the preservation. The seminal fluid indeed is also not a good. After also checked this extensively, and it's also not the best way. It was established in this channel, I mean, many months ago, that the best way to preserve neros is oil material, even crude oil. We need to check grease, but crude oil, and if the crude oil is mixed with water, with other stuff, like all sorts of other stuff, it's got long shelf life, especially if it's in the ecosystem, place where with oxygen supply, but that's another story. It's also, I mean, probably beneficial to store the neros in an ecosystem with salt water from the sea. And we will do it in the next couple of days, maybe today. We'll start because we've had tremendous success with initial experimentation in the past, but I've kept it airtight. It was in the hostel. Everything was a small room that I've eaten there, painted there, done everything like in the same room. So it wasn't very, I mean, suitable for open containers or containers with air supply. But now in the apartment, I have and I have balcony, like מרפסת שירות. So I have plenty space, like to actually store containers that are not airtight, and this will probably make it much easier and much more interesting to store neros in an ecosystem which contains more, I mean, seawater, but also oil and other stuff. This, of course, this material, this thing, I mean, of course, is, I mean, contains maybe a drop of water, mostly a little bit of pee, and mostly the container, in the mixture from the glass, the last one that I've had, like the glass container, which is very, very thick. It's like oil and beeswax. Beeswax is also fine for the preservation of neros, melted or solid. So this mixture is probably very rich in oil and beeswax. A little bit of it was burned because of very relatively strong electrolysis, high voltage relatively, but it looks fine. And we'll continue with that. The fact that we don't have much is one of the mission parameters that, to try to use small container and small amount, smaller than usual, much smaller than usual, in order so that the final result of the first stage will fit in those two containers, and we will try to demonstrate DC over air with two rods, one in each of this container. It's plastic covered with a synthetic clay dust, like in both sides. Maybe we'll do it even today, we'll see. So let's just, take a look at the sample. It was not stained. Stained means colored, like in the microscopic world, like jargon, the laboratory jargon. It was not stained like in a proper way, which there is a proper way to stain microscopic samples or to color it. I've done so. I'm just out of I'm kind of in like a hurry mode, and it's not super critical. So I just mix it with two drops from from the bottle, just to give it like a nice color without much ceremony. You do it with a piece of cloth, like you place it here, and then you block the other side. Now with covers that are so big, it's pretty difficult to actually do it. Usually the regular covers are used, this type, but sometimes I prefer the longer ones, like we use now. Staining it like properly is even like more cumbersome. So let's just show you what we've got. 64 magnification, the Bresser 1 microscope. Beautiful Nero. Many Neros we see, it's pretty much what you expect, from yesterday mornings. We see, many big ones, not huge ones, as I said. Like, if I need to categorize them to like 9 weight classes of the microscopic, yet non-nanoscopic level, like between, what you see, 64 magnification or, 40 magnification to maybe 2000 or 1500, this will be mostly fall in the second and third, from the top categories, which means the bigger ones, but not the huge ones. As I've said, the super heavyweights are the maximal category in the microscopic world, but above it, which we did not yet manage to produce, but we were very, very close, is the lightest weight in another category of classes that we need to invent, of the robots that are visible by the naked eye, that are no longer microscopic entities by definition. We see many smaller ones here, actually. Not many, but quite a bit of smaller ones, also the bigger ones. We will zoom in a second after this kind of very, very quick. This one is lovely. We don't see very fat ones. We see fat ones, but not very fat ones. I will add sodium bicarbonate. They are fat, but I want to see a little bit of very fat ones, the asimonin, the one who's very small hole and very big body. Maybe it's nice. Maybe it's like a nice. So it's pretty much what we've seen yesterday. Again, hopefully today we'll get a mixture that is much more, denser with, much denser with, specifically of all kinds of diverse neurons. We see this is 160 magnification. Yes, the lens side is dirty. We need to clean that, but for now it will do. Okay, let's go for even 600 or 700 magnification. The lens is very dirty, but we'll try to make do with whatever we can. Nice. So we see neros. But again, not many smaller ones. So we'll work on it after. Just a little arrangement that I need to do now. Get some stuff, and we will try to create a mixture that is heavy with smaller neros as well. Let's just touch the glass to create a flow, and touch it with the lens, of course. Not many smaller ones as I would have liked. So yeah, we have work on this mixture before we can aspire to actually produce DC over air, which will be visible to the naked eye by the foam, and also demonstrate enough current in the ampermeter to be kind of it will be conclusive, without any kind of shred of a doubt. This is a nice neo, smaller one, of course. but not tiny, I would say. And it's quite fat actually, so he consumed, the sodium bicarbonate without doubt. Back to 64, just for another quick overview. Okay, so we see, pretty much what you can expect. Should be said that this kind of amount of Neros, especially of this size, are about what you can expect. From regularly from my semen, which is much denser than pee. But the semen mostly contain also much more, many more smaller ones. And as I said, this one is skewed to all the heavy ones. Of course, you can know very well that this is an enriched mixture that were created in laboratory because, obviously, it's not all of the. It's a small container, but yet it still contains tremendously more than what you can expect from, semen sample, unless you are a horse. And of course, we have much more, in the glass container. Where is it? Should be somewhere here. And that's, of course, is just a tiny bit of what we've had, but most of it was burned or lost, destroyed. Where is it? Where is the glass? Somewhere here. About, the size of maybe 750 milliliters. So, that will be all for now. So we'll continue in about an hour, I guess.